Hi everyone, welcome to Morning Coffee Break. I hope everybody's doing good this morning. Got my coffee, Maxwell House Colombian. That's about my favorite. But I like the Colombian one at Aldi. It smells like, to me it smells just like the Maxwell House. Either that or Folgers. But both are good. Folgers is really good too. But I just don't like the Arabica as much. It doesn't, I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like it. I'd rather have the Colombian. All right, today's Friday, February 19th. Currently it's 35 degrees. Feels colder than that because it's windy. High's 37 today. It says 0% precipitation, but it's been snowing some. Not enough to do anything. Humidity is 81%. Winds are 9 miles per hour. You can see why it's a little cooler. Feels like it. Air quality is 22. That's good. I just got back in from going out there and cleaning up those feeders. They're a little messy. You know, the birds will mess on them and stuff. Of course, I always wear gloves when I'm doing anything with them. And I've just noticed a lot of birds out there. I mean, I've got suet out there, but that's not enough. When one bird's on the suet, the other birds they don't just like two or three get on them like they will on the feeders, because they're kind of protective when they're starting eating on that stuff. They'll try to chase each other off or something like that. But I've noticed several woodpeckers out there eating the suet, and quite a few cardinals, and I saw a bluebird. So there's more birds than there has been. So I went out there and I put some of they're little just pebbles like looking stuff, little balls of pink. I think they're sunflower seed nuggets or something they're called. I filled that cylinder, not all the way, but I filled it more than halfway with those. And that's suet, but it's in little balls though. And so that way, if they're on the block, they can perch on the other one, the cylinder one, and get some. And then I put if you put too much seed out there and it's wet, it just ruins it. It almost like ferments. It smells horrible. So I cleaned off as much as I could. It's still a little wet. I didn't think to take paper towels or something, and got it all, but not even halfway full, because you're wet. Like I said, you're wasting it. But I got some on the ground too, to where the squirrels and stuff. I found a little bit of corn I had left and threw it out there. So everybody has something for now. All right. Today, I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday because I had too much going on. But today, I'm going to do a Kitty's Corner, and the guest host will be Pickles. So, be looking forward to that, everybody. I got to work on get the jokes ready and stuff. And I need 18 more. We just did an Ask My Tablet yesterday, so but we need 18 more questions for the next one. So let's get them questions in so we can do another Ask My Tablet. And I was thinking about doing a chatting with my tablet today, but I started looking back and I realized I haven't done a take a look at Chef Mike's Homemade Cooking Club in a while, and it does real well. And I'll tell you what, I always need to put the disclaimer that to warn you that you'll get hungry. So I get hungry. I try to, if I can, I try to eat a little snack before I do it because it makes me hungry. It does everybody else. But we got a fantastic bunch of people in my Facebook group, all my Facebook groups. There's Chef Mike's Homemade Cooking Club, Gardening with Friends, and Color Me Happy Club. So everybody check them out. I think it's okay. And I'll show a little bit. I'll show a little bit from each one. Probably more from the Homemade Cooking Club than Color Me Happy or Gardening with Friends, because we hadn't had a lot going on with Gardening with Friends, but we do have a lot of nice posts in the Color Me Happy. So we'll be showing some of that too. But I didn't realize it had been so long. I just had so much going on lately. You know, we've been talking with y'all about doing another Cook with Chef Mike. Haven't done one in a long time, but you know, looking back on them, you can find them. All my cooking videos are in one playlist because I've just got 21. But that's quite a few. But I've kept them all in one playlist over the whole time since I started, and so you can find that. But in my playlist, but you need to scroll down, keep scrolling, and you'll find it. Because I didn't realize I've got like a million playlists. But yeah, you can look at a lot of those are things we eat all the time, you know. And but I noticed I didn't have one for chili, so I'm gonna make chili in the crock pot, and that's what I'll be doing. And it's either going to be Saturday or Sunday. I'd like to do it tomorrow if possible, but it'll either be Saturday or Sunday, and that'll be the first one, like I said, in probably a year that I've done. Well, I didn't realize it had been that long, but I guess it has. Time flies. So everybody, you know, would like to see that. We'll do that. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm using that I need to show y'all. If you decide you want to, you can find this too. I know you can. Aldi has them even. You know, I used to use a dry mix, you know, just a pouch, a little package, you know, just chili seasoning. But, you know, some of them had so much salt in them, and I don't think this one has a ton of it. I'll have to look and see in a second. But this here is what I've been using for quite a while. This Red Gold chili starter. I use another can of diced tomatoes and some tomato sauce. Get over here, honey. A little bit over more. Come on. Right there. And this stuff is fantastic. I'm going to be using this. I can do my own also, you know, but I tell you what, this is so convenient and so good that I don't have to worry about maybe putting too much of something or not enough of something else. It's great. So they even have this. I'm believing that Red Gold makes the diced tomatoes and tomato products for Aldi, because they've got this sitting in there. It's the only name brand thing they've got in there of, you know, tomato product. So I imagine they make theirs. That's the way Aldi rolls. But the Red Gold products are pretty well everywhere, I believe. You could probably find them, I would imagine, even at Walmart or Kroger's or just any store just about. They're a big company. But this one, you just add the meat and beans, it says. Of course, I add some onion and green pepper. But it's a seasoned, crushed, and diced tomatoes. I use another can of diced tomatoes, though. But let me see what the sodium's like. And it's not got, and the ingredients are just like crushed tomatoes, vine-ripened tomatoes, chili, pepper, salt, onion, dried onion, cumin, dried garlic, dried green and red bell pepper. Nothing like preservatives and stuff like that. You don't see any of that in there. But what I like is there's no fat in this at all, no cholesterol, and 360 milligrams, which is only 16%. So that's not, see what I mean? Some of those mixes have terrible, if you look at the salt, and I've got to start watching that. But so this here, y'all, I really, really recommend this. It makes a great pot of chili, and they'll think you worked on it for hours getting it ready. They will, because it's good. So that's what I'll be using. And we use ground turkey. We've been using that for years because I can't eat a lot of beef, and fatty beef especially, with my Crohn's. And we've got used to it, and you can't even tell. In chili and meatloaf and stuff, you can't. It's really hard to tell the difference. If you just make a turkey patty and then you make a hamburger patty side by side and cook them, yeah, you're going to be able to tell the difference. But in different things like spaghetti sauce chili, meatloaf and stuff, it's really hard to tell, and it's so much less fat. And especially if you have Crohn's, you don't want to eat a bunch of beef. It's hard to digest. It's okay, honey. I just moved a little. She's back right here again. You ready for story time? Is that what it is? Say, are you? Okay. Let's see. Oh, today's question. I think this is a good time to ask this, and it's a very simple question. Are you ready for spring? That's today's question. Are you ready for spring? I myself, I've been talking about it for a long time, because springtime means time to plant. And I'm going to have another new bed this year, so I'll have 3 of them out there. Hope I can keep up with it. I just want to have more room in between the plants. Last year I had a lush garden, but everything was too close. I think it would have done even better. It did fantastic, but I think it would have been over the top even more if I had left more room in between everything. But I didn't imagine it was going to grow like it did last year. Y'all can look back on my videos, garden videos, garden update videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Today's story time is a more recent story. This is in 2013. So that's like 8 years ago, and that's when we had our roof replaced, a new roof put on, and that took forever. I don't know, there was some bad weather and stuff, so they didn't get to work every day and different things. But when they had just finished putting the roof on, a bad storm came through. They had it wasn't like a tornado, but it's straight line winds, they said, which would come down in just a certain area and happen real fast, and then it'd be over with. Of course, there was plenty of wind, but I'm talking about the straight line winds. So we had straight line winds of 80 miles per hour in our neighborhood here, maybe a mile around, like a circle circumference or whatever. They had 80 mile per hour straight line winds, and we had at that time out front here, where there's it looks like a round bush, there was a big huge hickory tree in there, and whoever had built this house or whatever for first lived in it, they had a wall in a circle built around the tree. Why, I have no idea, because you could look down in there, stuff would get down in there and everything. The trunk of the tree was down in this round, almost looked like a well, and it's still out there, but it just sticks up like this far over the ground, but it's down in there like 4 foot, and this bush thing's grown in there. I can't hardly do nothing with it. I haven't physically been able to do much, and my brother can't do everything. And no, don't start playing like that, because you'll have to get down if you start playing too rough. Well, anyway, what happened was we had so much rain that the rain would collect down in that almost like a little pool if it would rain hard. So it was slowly rotting, which we didn't know, the trunk. We had no idea. And this was a huge hickory tree. I mean huge. And then there was another one over here where it's called the stump flowers are. That's a stump over here on this side. There was another one there, hickory. And that wind came down like that, and it snapped that trunk, which is probably, I don't know, the trunk is as wide as my arms are almost, is how big that trunk was. That's how big around it was. And it broke, and it missed our roof, the corner over here, by about 5 or 6 foot. I mean, it could have just totally ruined the garage area. But it fell, and it went towards the end of the road here. Y'all see me walk down through here. And the end of it, it was so tall, was a little bit out in the road from where it is over here. And you realize how big it was when it fell. I mean, it looked big and everything, but we didn't know it was that tall. So it fell, and then we weren't the only ones, though. I mean, this whole area, they just all of a sudden had a bunch of, and there's trees everywhere. If y'all have seen the drive with us around here, there's trees everywhere. So everybody had all kinds of problems. I think the power was out briefly, but they got it back on. Naturally, we had a mess. So all of a sudden, I had like 1 million tree cutting services knocking on my door. I think I collected 20 some cards from people and got estimates. Well, it was well over the lowest estimate was like $1,400, and that wasn't even to haul it off. That was just to cut it up and get it to the road. And I didn't have $14, much less $1,400. But ended up, and we ended up on TV. The local news was checking out this whole area, and came out here, and we were out in the front yard. I'm just standing there looking at this tree, and they asked us questions, and they filmed us picking up some of this. We were picking up everything we could to clean up the yard and taking it to the road. They filmed us doing that, and they filmed, they interviewed us, and I was like, yeah, if anybody wants any free wood, come on over. We got plenty over here, and you have to stay over here, honey. And they ended up editing all, like that out when I said that naturally. But we were on the news, that evening or whatever it was. They showed us talking to us for about, I don't know, 15 seconds, which seemed like a long time. But so anyway, what happened was the city, was in here looking around because all these power lines, as y'all have seen back here, these big power lines that run across here, and they're always concerned about if a tree's going to hit them because that would take out the whole city almost. Well, like I said, there was another big hickory out there too, where I call it the stump flowers now, and I grow flowers, and it was about as tall as the other one, and they determined that it would reach these power lines, and they were concerned because when the other one was there, it provided cover from the wind to hit that tree. You know what I'm saying? But once that other tree fell, that tree was open to the wind from this direction, when it wasn't really before because it was protected, if you understand what I'm saying. And then, so they were like, can you have this tree cut down? And I said, I can't even afford to have this one cut up. Why would I, just because you say, why would you want me to cut it down? You want me to cut it down? I said, if you want it cut down, you pay for it. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you do it if you cut this other tree up and take everything off my property. Well, they thought about it. I guess he came back the next day or whatever. I said, you come back and let me know what you think. I said, that's the only way I'm going to do it. But they actually said, you need to have that cut down. Like, I don't know if they thought I was rich or something, But I was like, I can't even have this cleaned up. What are you talking about? And see, we'd already had trees cut down before that they've had to cut down back here that started looking like it might fall into it. They did it, and we couldn't afford anything like that, And I've cut up small things by myself, small little trees or something growing, but nothing like that. And so they came back and they said, okay, we'll do it. So they took that tree out, and I let this. I had this old man. He would come over whenever they would be done. He would come over, and I told, I said, let me have a few days when you get it down and get everything off of my driveway, and I said, because there's some people that want some, in other words. So several people came over. I kept 3 bags of the shavings and hickory to use in the grill, and I gave 2 of them to my brother because he knows this guy that smokes hams and stuff. And but I still got some of that, and it's been obviously 8 years ago, you know, but I still got some of that shavings I use in the. I just used a handful at a time in the grill, so it was a whole big, you know, lawn trash bag, you know, lawn and stuff. But you know, it all worked out in the end. So, but that's where that stump is out there. That other one where they took it out. That's where I grow the flowers, and I call it stump flowers. If you hear the word stump flowers, that's why, because there's still a little bit of that stump out there that's like petrified. So, all right, everybody, I think that's going to be it for Morning Coffee Break. I hope you enjoyed today's story time. Please press that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. Looking forward to me making some chili with this fantastic stuff. See if you can find it. Who knows, maybe Amazon would even have it, I don't know. But that's the best stuff I ever had to start some chili with. It was so easy and not have to worry about too much sodium and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll be seeing you later on. Chances are the next thing I'll be doing is Kitty's Corner, and chances are after that I'd like to take a look at Chef Mike's Homemade Cooking Club and others. So everybody, I appreciate your support so much, and I'll see you later on. God bless.